When I was in high school, we had a competition with all of the senior boys where the winner got to go to prom. Think of it like a beauty pageant, except with a bunch of teenage dudes. There was an evening wear competition, a trivia portion, and a talent portion where we would have to display one of our skills in front of the entire school. And for some reason, I was nominated. I wasn't the most popular, but I wasn't the least popular either. I was kind of in the middle, but getting nominated for that type of thing really took me by surprise. I didn't think that I would be able to go in front of the entire school and do something like that. I was a bit of a class clown, but I had never really done something like that, just me, and I was very nervous. I didn't know what I should do for the talent portion. I didn't know what I would wear for the evening wear portion. I started thinking about all this stuff that really started getting to me and really made me nervous to go out in front of a bunch of people and perform. I was experiencing a lot of self-doubt, and self-doubt is something that plagues me to this day, every day, especially when it comes to doing creative things. I wanted to talk a little bit about doubt today, what it is, why we have it, and what we can do about it. And I wanted to start with what even is doubt? Well, Webster's defines doubt as the lack of conviction. Just kidding. I would never dictionary definition you like that. But we all know what doubt is. Doubt is that little creeping thing in the back of our brain whenever we think we might have something going, whenever we think, oh, I want to go and get a promotion. Oh, I want to go and ask out the girl I like. Doubt comes in and is like, what if she thinks you're ugly? What if your boss hates you? And it keeps you from doing stuff and making stuff that exist as really cool ideas in your head. And I feel like doubt and fear in general kind of comes from our brains wanting to keep us safe. You know, our brain wants us to not die. And if we go out there and we try something new and we put ourselves out there into the big scary world, well, what if the big scary world squishes us like a little dang bug? And I feel like our brain wants us to stay here where it's safe. Stay in your routine, stay in your home. Don't go out and try new stuff. It's scary out there. And look, I get that. I understand, brain. But at the same time, I got some stuff I want to do, you know? And I'm someone who always thought that growth does not happen inside your comfort zone. I'm constantly trying to get out there and experience new things, do things that are a little scary to me, try things that I might not be good at right away, and try to bust out of that. But I still have these feelings of doubt. They're still creeping in there. They're still making their way. And I feel like it can manifest in a bunch of different ways. Doubt can really get in our way and keep us from doing things and trying things that we would end up loving and can change our lives for the better. It can keep us from new experiences. It can keep us from new relationships. It could keep us from wanting to show people something that you're working on, even though you're really proud of it. All right, I'll show you. It's a dog in a bow tie. But you see, the lighting is pretty bad, and my hand's kind of cramping. I couldn't get the lines right, and I think one of the most common ways doubt can manifest itself is through excuses. I can be working on something that I'm really proud of at first, and then all of a sudden I start seeing things that are wrong with it that I wasn't seeing before. Oh, those lines aren't right. The colors are off. Yada, yada, yada. I can tell now, I've trained my brain to recognize, okay, all of a sudden you found all these things wrong with it. Chances are not all of those things are true. It can be really hard in the moment to recognize what is a valid criticism of something you're working on and what is your brain and that doubt coming in and creeping up on you, trying to get you. And I think it is something that you're going to have to just sort of train your brain a little bit to say, hey, let's take a step back here. What are some of the strengths? I feel like a good way of combating the excuses is to say, okay, if I think this isn't working and that's not working, what is working? Okay, well, actually, I think that the composition of this is really good. Oh, I think that joke I made in that one part is actually pretty funny. And then all of a sudden, you start to focus on the positive rather than the negative, and that can start to get a little train going again of, oh, you know what, actually, now that I look at it, the lines aren't that weird. The colors are pretty good. And you can sort of overcome the mountain of these little tiny doubtlets coming in and trying to get you, trying to keep you from putting something out that you really like. Or maybe it's something like you're trying to get a promotion. You can think, oh, I don't know if I should, I've only been here for X amount of time. These people have been there longer than me. Oh, there was that one project with a client that I messed up on. And you can, if you're looking for something wrong, chances are you'll find it if you look hard enough. But I think the same thing goes for positives. I think that we tend to expand on all of the negative aspects and we overlook the positive ones. I think it can really tip the scales. Our brain really loves finding the stuff that we're doing wrong and doesn't like highlighting the stuff that we're doing right. And I think, hey, take a step back. Are you experiencing doubt in some way? What are we doing right? What do we think is good? If we think, hey, I want to go out there and I want to ask a girl out, but I think that I can't dance or I don't have a good outfits or whatever it is, take a step back and say, hey, what do I got going on right now? Well, you know what? I'm having a pretty nice hair day. And you know what? I got those new shoes. They're looking nice. I'm looking slick when I'm walking in those new shoes. There's a ton of stuff that you're probably doing right that you're not really paying attention to. And I want you to take a step back and say, hey, how exactly am I killing the dang game right now? I think another aspect of doubt is we can sometimes feel isolated in our doubt. Our doubt can make us feel like we're alone in a lot of ways. It can make me think, oh man, like everyone else is doing this right except for me. I think that's a huge problem that I have in my dang brain of everyone is doing amazingly except for me. I'm the only person that is experiencing these problems and experiencing these doubts, when really, that's not the case. Doubt is a weird feeling, but I'm here to tell you that weird is normal. Everyone experiences doubt in some capacity. Take the person that you think is killing it the absolute most of anyone on the planet Earth, and chances are they're going through their own version of doubt. Or they have in the past and maybe they've overcome it now, and hooray for them. But I think pretty much every single person experiences doubt. And I say that to say, you're not alone in having these feelings. There are other people going through a very similar thing, probably along the same lines of the thing that you're struggling with. I know that I am, from my experiences, I have a lot of doubt when it comes to my creative efforts, and I actually have a couple friends. I'm lucky enough to have some friends that are also doing creative things, and they're also feeling that doubt. And we talk about it, and we say, hey, I'm not feeling good about this, and I'm not feeling good about that. And then we hype the other one up. We say, hey, you're actually doing really good. Hey, that beat you made is amazing. I would play it on Spotify right the hell now. I think that, like I said, doubt can be really isolating. It can make us feel really alone. It can make us feel like we're behind everyone else, when really that is not the case. And I want you to say, if you're having doubts right now about something, let me know, and I will be there to hype you up and tell you, hey, you're killing it. You're doing this right. You're doing that right. I feel like we can help each other and have a nice sense of community, and that would be just, that would be the best. But my final point that I want to say, as much as it would be amazing to have this sense of community where we're all hyping each other up and we're all complimenting each other, is at the end of the day, you have to be your own bestie. And what I mean by that is that it can be great to hear other people say, hey, you're doing this right, you're doing that right. That could be really good and it could feel really validating. But when those people aren't there, I feel like we all have a tendency to get really in our heads. And I feel like, me personally, I say stuff to myself in my brain that I would never say to a friend that's going through the exact same thing. And I feel like that might be the case with you too. Have you helped a friend through a thing, and then you find yourself going through the same thing and you're a lot harder on yourself than you would have been on your friend? I feel like that's probably a very similar, a very common feeling. And I want you to know, as great as it is to have people in your life to say, hey, this is awesome, that's awesome, you, at the end of the day, have to be that person for yourself first and foremost. The best way to help other people is to help yourself. I am a firm believer of that. And I think that not everyone's going to be there for you 100% of the time. As much as a lot of people in your life would love to be, that's just simply not how it goes. Everyone's got their own things going on, and there are certain periods, little bits of turbulence that you're going to have to pilot the ship yourself. You're going to have to say, hey, what am I doing right here? I have to be a little bit kinder to myself. I have to recognize, hey, that guy's coming in, he's yapping his mouth off talking about how bad I am at this. When really, at the end of the day, I'm not as bad as I'm telling myself. And I would never tell someone who's doing the same thing as me that they're bad. So I need to practice some kindness. And I want you to do the same. I want you to say, hey, you're doing a good job. Say it. You're doing a good job. You can do this. You got this. At the end of the day, what? You ask someone out. What's the worst that can happen? They say no? Cool. Ask someone else out. There's someone else out there for you. That promotion, hey, if you go out there and you put yourself on the line and say, hey, I think that I deserve a raise. If they say, hey, no, that can make you say, hey, well, I think that my skills are deserving of higher pay. And why don't I go out there and see if someone would be willing to give me that paycheck? I guarantee you that someone out there is going to be able to see your hard work. But that all starts with ourselves. That all starts with us being able to see where we're killing it, where we're doing well, what our strengths are. And yeah, there's definitely a space for constructive criticism, both with our friends and with ourselves. But I think we all have that voice in the back of our heads that's a lot meaner to ourselves than they are to other people. And I want you to go up to that voice in your brain and say, hey, shut the hell up, all right, buddy? I gotta go out there and I gotta go kill it. I gotta go out there and do my damn thing. Now, what did I do when I was a teenager? Did I let self-doubt come in and keep myself from getting out there and doing my damn thing? Well, I will let you be the judge of that. That's going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. It's just amazing that any of you watch this and take it seriously at all. It's just the best. I've really been, as much as there's highs and lows, at the end of the day, I get a lot of joy out of this. It's just very rewarding to be able to talk about these things and to have people listen. And if I help anyone, that's just the best. And some of you have reached out to me and said that I've helped you, and thank you so much. That's just amazing. And I want to know, has doubt been a problem with you lately? Have you been working on something or trying to work yourself up to do something, but that little voice in the back of your head is just getting in your dang way? Please let me know. I want to talk about it. I want to help whoever I can. Thank you so much for watching. Give it a like, give it a subscribe. Share this with someone that you think it could help. If I could help more people, that would be just the best. It would be the best. This is amazing. Thank you so much. And until next time, go out there and go make something. All right? Have a good one.